Welcome, everybody, to this HubSpot user group event. Today, we're going to talk about how to run your own AEO audit from SEO to AEO. This is a webinar series that we run through multiple HubSpot user groups here at Nextiny, and very excited to talk about how to run your own AEO audits. We sell AEO audits, we do AEO audits for our current clients, for new clients. Today, we're going to teach you how to do it yourself. So in the meantime, keep introducing yourselves in the chat. I want to know who I'm talking to. I want to help as much as possible. Let's get this party started. So again, let us know who you are. We are Nextiny Marketing. I'm Gabriel Margulli. I'm the CEO and founder of Nextiny Marketing. We are a HubSpot solution partner at platinum level. For 25 years now, we've been in business, and we've been working with HubSpot for almost 14 years. And we specialize in everything HubSpot: websites, HubSpot implementations, optimizations, using the CRM for marketing, sales, and service. And of course, we were an SEO company. Now we are an AEO HubSpot agency. So whatever you need, let us know. I'm going to share my link just in case so we can get these things out of the way. We also, since we're here, AEO is what we're going to talk about. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. That's my LinkedIn, my email. We have an AEO guide that we put together to make it all easier for you guys, so you can actually run this AEO guide and learn how to do all these things, not just to run the audit like we're doing today, but actually do the work. And we have an AEO audit product that you can get from us, and we can actually run the whole audit for you. I won't bore you with any more of those things. We've been running this webinar series for the last, I'm going to say, 7 months now. If you want to go check out our recordings, they're all there. While people continue to connect, I'm going to keep going through some of these things that we go through in the beginning. And we are running the next two events. Today, we're doing how to run your own AEO audit, but we have HubSpot AI agents for loop marketing, sales, and customer service on May 6th. And the other one on May is going to be how to measure AI brand visibility and ROI using HubSpot tools and HubSpot AEO tools. So a lot of good stuff coming up. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. As we're going through the presentation, I'll answer as much as possible through the presentation. And then at the end, we have a Q&A session too. So let us know if you have any questions. Thank you very much, everybody, for connecting today. So the agenda, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do a recap on how AI is redefining client acquisition. So everybody's on the same page with this. We're going to talk about what an AEO audit actually reveals, your SEO foundations, testing AI visibility manually, using HubSpot AEO Grader, which is the free HubSpot tool, and then using the HubSpot AEO tool that was launched officially last week. We've been testing this tool on beta for a long time now. It's super, super exciting to see how people are starting to use this AEO tool internally in HubSpot to run brand visibility and all these things. We'll talk about all these things today. So let me know again if you have any questions, but let's get this started. So how is AI redefining client acquisition? And if you've been on my webinars or hugs or boot camps, you've seen this. Search isn't link anymore, it's answers. AI overviews like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini are changing discovery. SEO is not dead, it's evolving, but the question is, how do we stay visible in an AI and answer first world? So, of course, things are changing. 60% of searches now end up in 0 clicks, which means they don't go to your website. 70% of B2B buyers complete their journey without talking to your salespeople. But there's some good news. The good news are that Google is still 210 times bigger than ChatGPT in discovery. And this is, I'm going to share the case study right here by Search Engine Land. You've probably seen this before if you've been to my webinars. Google's still huge, and Google is coming back. ChatGPT was ahead, then Claude. Now Google is amazing at discovery. I'm using Google more and more, and Google is more AI than ever. So you have the AI overview, you have AI mode, you have Gemini. So long story short, AI, Google is also an AI model now. Now, it's more geared, just like Perplexity towards sending people to your website. So that's why we also like it. And you can test it very quickly because things show up on Google very, very quickly. The other good news is that we see higher conversion when people are coming to your website from AI sources. And the reason why is because people are researching more, doing more of the background work. So they come up to your site more qualified already. If they actually end up on your website, it's because they've already had conversations. And we've seen this over and over again in actual HubSpot portals where, for the same amount of time, there were 4,000 Google visits, 42 leads, one client. And then at the same time, in the same time, 90 visits from AI referrals, 2 leads, 1 client. So the same amount of clients close with a lot less visits and a lot less leads and a lot less work from the sales team too and the marketing team. So this is good news because even though the quantity is not there, quality is definitely there, and that's what we want. If we can talk to one person that's going to close today, and we do that every day, that's perfect. That's perfection, right? We don't need thousands of visits. We don't need thousands or hundreds of leads. We need qualified leads and humans to have conversations with our salespeople so we can actually help each other, right? So the problem is that a lot of companies are not tracking these things. They're not tracking what's going on with AI. And also visits and leads is not the full picture. What everybody's tracking is visits and leads and customers. And we've been telling people, stop tracking keyword ranking. Don't tell me I don't show up on this keyword on Google #1. I want to be #1 on Google, right? Like that's what everybody was saying. We've been training them to say, no, what's important is qualified visits that turn into leads, that turn into sales conversations that then you can close into clients. And that's still very important because Google's still huge and discovery is very important, not only on Google, but AI. Every time you can send someone to your website, turn them into a lead, and then turn into clients, that's amazing. So keep doing this. But if AI is not recommending you and you're not being compared, like all these things are missing. And the most important part is that AI didn't just change discovery, it changed the whole buyer's journey. So people are comparing you, they're comparing your solutions and your products with other people, they're comparing your company with other people, they're digging deeper. Do that. Go say, who is this company? And that's one of the things we're going to do on the audit. But then go and say, dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper, and make AI go dig deeper to see what it says. And if you don't control that narrative, then someone that's about to sign a contract can also disappear because of a conversation with AI. So that's why we need to try to control the narrative as much as possible. And we need to start tracking other things. And that's what running an AEO audit today is all about. So one of the things we found is when we run audits is we found outdated content, old videos. If you don't control the narrative, other people will. AI will find the content. If you don't create the content that AI is going to cite, someone else will. Your competitors will. Your reviews from people that were angry will, right? This is a good example. We run a full audit on this huge brand, and we found that AI was citing a video from 11 years ago, and using it, and the brand was wrong, the name of the brand was wrong, the products were wrong, the messaging was wrong. That's what not controlling the narrative looks like. So that's what answer engine optimization is controlling visibility plus trust plus consistency, because AI tries to find consensus around the internet, around multiple choices. You want to run a multi-channel strategy for AEO across the internet. Any questions, guys? Anything you want to go through before I keep going? I see people connecting from all over the place. Hello, everybody. Iffy, Angie, thank you guys again for connecting. Aaron, any questions? Can I see the last slide again? Quick. Yes. Not that one, probably. This one. Holly, is that the one? So, yeah. So, and by the way, this is all being recorded, and we'll send you the recording on the recap, so you won't miss a thing. So, again, how do you run an AEO audit? The first thing is, what does an audit reveal? Like, what does it even mean, right? Like, an AEO audit shows you whether AI includes you in the answer or not. It shows you how your brand is described. Is it generally, is it accurate? Is it comparing you? Then also it compares it with your competitors. Like it tells you when you run a full audit, you understand how you are showing up on different models compared to your competitors. If it's positive or not, that's the other part, because you don't want to be just named and say, yeah, but they don't do it right, right? Like that's the last thing you want. And then again, what sources, and this is critical, AI is actually using to create those answers, because that's what AI does is it goes and finds consensus and then uses those multiple sources to create one answer. So it is not ranking, it's about representation and positioning. Alex said, I like the dig deeper prompt. Yes, dig deeper. I love that. I literally go, who is this company for ourselves, for our clients? It works well with Gemini. I'm going to try it in other engines. Yes, ChatGPT is really good at that. Gemini is really good at that. Sometimes Gemini, it starts to get a little repetitive for some reason. I've had that problem, but I do it all the time. It's like, tell me more about this. Tell me about this company. What do they really do? What are really people doing? And what are really people saying about them? What are their competitors? How do they compare with their competitors? I'm going ahead. I'm getting too ahead on my audit, but definitely that's what you want to do. Dig deeper, dig deeper. So that's what an AO audit does. And as you can see in the screenshots, it's trying to find when you are named, not only when you're looking for a branded prompt, but also related prompts, related entities. When you are cited, what are those sources? Is it a video? Is it Reddit? Is it LinkedIn post? You want to learn that too. And that will show you, again, how multi-channel this strategy needs to be, because you'll see that it's an 11-year-old YouTube video, right? Like if you see that the source of who is this company is an 11-year-old YouTube video, you'll know that you're definitely not writing the right content in the right places, because AI is like, okay, there's nothing about this. I need to go find it there, right? Why was it that more trusted? Why is video more trusted? We talk about that all the time. So what we're seeing in real audits is, again, going back to this, is that brands are mentioned, but they're not differentiated. AI blends multiple companies into one generic answer. Sometimes, we've worked with brands that have multiple names, and there's like, yeah, this name, it's not differentiating the different companies. Competitors appear more clearly. A good example of this is an old SEO strategy where we used to do this. We used to do this for SEO all the time. This is the ask you answer. The ask you answer actually tells you to write articles comparing you with your competitors. That's a brave type of article that we would all write all the time. It's like the top, companies that do this and this and this, and you would name yourself among other companies that are reputable and they do their job, but you have some kind of comparison where you can say ours is better for this and this and this, maybe your industries or whatever it is, right? You're an expert at a specific industry or whatever, right? But the problem is that most of those articles are like, these are the companies. And also, by the way, we are here and we do this, right? And if you have that article, you need to go and rewrite it, because AI will take the names at the top, use that as the answer, and actually cite you as the answer for the question, but not include you in the answer itself. So you need to be very careful, because you might be hurting your own AI brand visibility by not including your own entities, which are the name of your company, the name of your CEO, the name of the person writing the content, the name of your products, your methodologies, your whatever it is that differentiates you. Those are entities, the nouns in the company. You might not be connecting the nouns together with the concepts that you're writing about. And that is what running an audit is all about. Understanding those connections with the content and understanding where the gaps are. So if you're going to run an audit, this is from HubSpot's content, this content out there is like, you define the entities and the topics and the branded phrases. Those are the prompts, the things like you used to do keyword research. This is the same thing. What's the difference between a keyword and an entity? Great question. A keyword is Apple. An entity is Apple the company versus Apple the fruit. Entities give you context, give you a lot more context than just a keyword. Some of them are going to be repetitive and the same, but the name of your company is an entity. The name of the person writing the content is an entity. Products, services, methodologies, industries, etc., etc. Then test your brand in top AI engines, right? Like, and we'll see different tools right now, but different industries will use different engines. Like I was just giving an example this morning at another event where um, we have a lot of clients that do IT, and IT usually those companies don't allow their employees to use ChatGPT or Claude and stuff like that for security reasons. Long story short, they use Microsoft Copilot. So you need to know if you show up in Copilot. So you need to test in that, right? Capture and categorize, all the outputs to understand where we use a spreadsheet. We create a spreadsheet with all the prompts and all the answers and all the citations. Score visibility, accuracy, and citation completeness. How much the content is being used. Identify those gaps. Review on-site content to make sure the structure is correct and the connection between the entities. By the way, I have an article that will share a lot more on that specifically. That's the article talking about the SEO AEO shift. This is another article about how to use HubSpot tools to run this. This is another article on how to do schema, which is the code that you need to do in the back to structure the data to make sure that AI understand it. And then this is a framework we put together to actually run AEO using HubSpot tools, from capturing the real information from a company to doing all the work to actually tracking the visibility. So I just shared our human to answer framework that we built at Nextiny Marketing. So again, you check all these things, you review what's going on your website, you update your website, you create blog articles, you create a multi-channel strategy, and then you retest, right? So we'll talk about how to do these things. Any questions so far? All right, guys. Keep going, keep asking. Okay, I'm seeing a trend that LLMs are pulling a greater percentage of information from mainly Reddit and LinkedIn. Would you agree? Yes. I'm about to post an article about LinkedIn and Reddit strategies for AEO, but that's not just what you need to do. LinkedIn and Reddit are validating what you're saying on your website, on your blog articles, on your videos, on your webinars. And you can't just like fake it. It has to be real stuff. It has to be attached to videos and things that you actually can take. And that's what the human to answer framework that we created is all about, is taking real stuff that creates the right signals for AI. So when you use Reddit and LinkedIn, actually is picked up not only as the source, but it also validates that what you're saying on your website is real because you're having conversations on Reddit. And I can explain the whole thing about how to use Reddit and all that stuff. But that blog with the human to answer framework actually explains a lot more. I'm gonna share it again here, just in case, David. But yes, the answer is yes. AI, a lot of models are using LinkedIn and Reddit, depending on the industry and a lot of things. But yes, they're being used as one of the citation sources. They're showing up on Google. They're giving validation to your content. So it's part of a multi-channel strategy for sure. So let's talk about the SEO foundation, because SEO is still very, very, very important. So a lot of people, I don't know if you remember, we use the HubSpot website grader. Website grader is an amazing tool to run these tests, and I'll share the link in a second here. There you go. Is one of the tools that we're going to talk about. But AEO does not replace SEO. Answer engine optimization is not a whole new thing that's separate from SEO. It builds on it. So you need to make sure that your site has no technical issues, has no slow performance, no weak structure. The schema, it needs to be there. Alex said, Manos is really good at an incremental approach to investigating whether a business comes up front. It is not super fast, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing, Alex. Um, fix your SEO first. AI will struggle to understand you if it cannot parse your website, the structure is not there, your website's slow. EEAT, which is like trustworthiness and all that stuff that you've been doing for SEO, is critical for AEO. So what to audit on the SEO side of things? Run a website grader, like I just pasted right there. Run a Google page speed, like just go to Google and say page speed insights. You put your URL and it'll tell you it's like this is slow and mobile on desktop, and it doesn't have to be all 100%. It's again, I tell people all the time, people are like, but this is 60%. This is crazy. It shouldn't be 60. Well, hold on. Do you want your website to be a white page with black text? That's going to be 100 everything, right? There's a balance between creating a great experience for your users, adding videos and images and all those things, and ranking 100 in all the tests, right? You want to be in the 80s and the 70s in most things, but there's a balance, and you have to decide what that balance is, but optimize as much as possible. And then you can use tools like SEMrush or Moz and things like that to do more optimization. HubSpot has amazing optimization tools for SEO that connects with your Google My Business account and all those things. So just make sure that you test your website with the different tools. Website Grader is one of them. I'm going to send you the Google Page Speed link to. It's right here. And I'm going to send the rich text test, which is the rich results test, which allows you to test your schema to make sure that your schema, which is the background programming that structures the data as your organization, local business, products, FAQs, videos, you need to understand these things. You need to make sure they're fixed, and you need to make sure your SEO is as clean as possible, as optimizing as possible. And what you're actually fixing is your load speed, your core web vitals, your mobile experience, your broken links, your missing metadata, your poor heading structure. So one H1 tag, right? Like simple things we've been doing for 15 years now. It's incredible. You go to websites and all of a sudden there's more than one H1 tag, which is the main title of the page. There should only be one. Your website needs to be responsive and mobile friendly. There was a mobile update, I don't know, 15 years ago on Google, but still, sometimes you go to websites and the responsiveness is not working correctly and things like that. So all these links, yes, the links will be in the email for sure, Kevin. Thank you for asking that. So make sure all your SEO is as sound as possible, right? And then the logical page hierarchy and the clean navigation and internal linking. This is why a lot of times we talk to a client and it's better and easier to build a new website than to fix the new one, the current one. They've had a website for 15 years, for 10 years, for 5 years. The website has poor structure, bad user experience. It's slow. It's built on, I don't know, Joomla or whatever, right? And the technology is old and it's hard to optimize and there's no tools. We bring people to the 20th century. We bring them into the HubSpot platform. We build every single website into HubSpot and we optimize it for SEO. HubSpot already does half of the work there. You can optimize everything internally, but there's great themes that are fast, that are optimized for SEO. You build a website in HubSpot, a lot of these things are going to be taken care of for you. And then again, do a good experience, a good, simple navigation, 2 clicks to get to whatever it's important. Build a good footer with some good keywords and entities. Those are great ways you can do SEO and optimize your site. Now, are there more things? Yes, you can spend your whole life fixing SEO. You need to understand what makes an impact and make those big optimizations as much as possible and let go of the perfection, because there's no perfection. There's only progress with SEO. You run a HubSpot SEO audit internally with HubSpot that connects with your Google My Business, and it'll say there's 1,000 issues that you need to fix. No, there isn't 1,000 issues. Go fix the 5 issues that make the most out of it. And then every month, go fix another page, rewrite another blog, make sure the URL. But some of the issues are not even relevant anymore sometimes. So, again, do as much as you can on the SEO optimization. So then test AI visibility manually. Go and ask AI real questions across multiple models, right? Like best company, best, you know, category or industry companies, or top providers for this problem or this methodology or this software. Compare this company with my company, put the names of the companies. What do you know about your name, your company name, your product name, things like that. And then what does this company do, right? And then dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. Understand what the answer is on multiple models. So then you understand where the gaps are. You know the company, you know what you do, you know what it should say. And whatever it's not saying, that's your gap. Find those gaps and test it on all the models you would think your audience would use. And if you don't know, tested at least on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. If it's more SaaS software, Claude is definitely more. If it's more IT, corporate, Copilot is going to be. If it's more, I don't know, crazy people use Grok, whatever it is, your audience, test different models. And that was a joke, by the way. Uh, so you understand how different models actually pick up the information, where they're citing it. Because when they're going and fanning those queries, that's what AI does. It you ask one question and it has sub questions to the model, and then each one of those brings sources and it's trying to find consensus. All of that is information you want to try to understand, so then you can actually try to control that narrative. So then when you're doing the audit, you want to make sure whether your brand appears or not, the position in the answer. Are you the first one? Are you the last one? Are you not showing up at all, right? Competitors listing alongside you. How your brand is described. Is this positive or negative? The sources, of course. Sources, sources, sources. And AI will pull from your website, from blog content, from YouTube videos. So know this, understand where it's coming, and then put together a spreadsheet. That's blurry on purpose, by the way. You're not having eyesight issues. Just create a spreadsheet and document all of this and document over time and try to understand how you can affect it. We'll go to tools that can help you with this, HubSpot tools that can help you with this. So what you really want, you're really analyzing is just the accuracy of the data, the clarity of the data, the differentiation of the data, the completeness of your data. And if it's not connecting the dots between your name, the name of your company, the name of your service, like I'm doing here, it's like I'm Nextiny Marketing. I'm Gabriel Marguglio. I'm the owner of Nextiny Marketing. We do marketing services. We're a HubSpot AEO agency. We do video production too. And one of the questions of my ideal clients is, are webinars helping with AEO, right? And you want to make sure that you ask all these things connected with those entities to understand if AI is actually making the connection between these things and naming them. That's the whole entity connection with this. Any questions, guys? All right, I'll keep going. So the HubSpot AL grader allows you to track a lot of these things and connect the dots between these entities. What's great about the AEO grader is that you can actually put the entities, the name of your company, your location, your industry, your services and products, and it'll go search on multiple models, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini, and it'll give you a ranking. How are you doing on those? And how are you doing for specific things like brand recognition or market score or presence quality or brand sentiment? So this gives you a big picture of where you are on these three models with those entities, and you can try with different entities. And then it gives you more information like, are you visible? Are you understandable? Yeah, are you trustworthy? So it talks about trust. It talks about your market, share with your competitors. It tells you which competitors is comparing you with. Different models will use different competitors, right? It'll tell you the brand recognition. Are you an innovator? Are you a traditionalist? Like it'll tell you what AI thinks about you as an entity connected with those other entities, which gives you again probability to show up in AI models. Again, any questions, guys, about the AO grader and how to use it? And again, I would recommend go test the AO grader. I'm going to put the URL here, HubSpot AO grader. And put the name. You don't put the URL of your website. This is not like the website grader like that we talk about. The AO grader, you put the name of your company, you put the name of your service or product, you put your industry, you put your location, and it'll try to connect the dots between those different things. Audrey's asking, do AI results also pull in non-public sources such as what employees within your company are doing on their own in the AI platform? No, no. AI can only pull from public records, which is the internet. That's why when you're trying to control the narrative, you're going to post online. You what you do internally with AI is supposed to never be out and it's supposed to never be shared, and AI models are not supposed to use it. Now, if they use it to train their models and things like that, that's a different conversation. Um, Even if you don't pay for the subscription, your data is not going to be shared with the world. It's not like if I say something, you can get to what I said privately with AI. Now, it's used to teach the models on how to interact. It's not used as the source of data, right? Like, it's not like you can train AI by talking to it, and then AI is going to take that information and show it to everybody else, right? You can't fake training the AI on what you say by having private conversations with AI. You need to publish public data online, on LinkedIn, on Reddit, on your website, on your blog, so AI can actually pull those sources and show it to AI. Does that make sense? The distinction between training data and public data that's going to be used to actually build the answer for AI. Are we good on that? Uh, Good stuff. Good stuff. So, great question, though. So then let's talk about the AEO tool. The HubSpot AEO tool is super cool. And the HubSpot AEO tool was launched last week officially. We've been testing it for months now, the beta, but let me share the link here also so everybody has access to that. So if you're paying for HubSpot, you have access to the AEO tool. And the AEO tool allows you to actually track. Am I not? Are you guys not seeing? Oh, there you go. I thought you were. I, I think you were like seeing the last. There you go. Perfect. Now everybody's seeing everything. So let's talk about the HubSpot AEO tool. So the HubSpot AEO tool allows you to track brand visibility. I just had another webinar this morning, and the question was, what do we track? Right? When you are running an audit, you're starting to think about how AI builds the answers, where the citations are coming from, where the information is it accurate, how to compare. But when you're running answer engine optimization on a regular basis, what are going to be the metrics that we want to track? What are we going to be working towards? Well, HubSpot AO answers that question. HubSpot AO, the AO tool, tracks visibility, brand visibility across multiple LLMs. So at the end of the day, you can set it up inside HubSpot. You can set up your product, your company, your competitors, um, your prompts that you want to track. And then it'll tell you how your brand visibility changes over time. So it'll allow you to do things and then check if it's changing, which is what we all buy HubSpot for. HubSpot is all about understanding, am I doing activities? Am I doing okay? Are my activities making a difference? And what's the impact of those activities? That's why, tracking visits, leads, and clients is critical for everybody. and CRM, the usage of the CRM. But now with answer engine optimization and the changes on AI, you want to try to understand how your brand is visible in different models. That's what HubSpot AEO and the AEO tool does. So you'll get brand visibility first, and it'll tell you over time how it's changing for ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. And then it'll tell you the sentiment score, which is, it measures how positive or negative your brand is presented. So this is also very important. This tells you if you have a lot of bad reviews or if you have people talking about it negatively or how it compares with your competitors in a positive or negative light. So again, visibility plus sentiment is the full picture of your brand. It's not just visibility. You want to know if it's visibility in a positive way, right? And then your competitors. How are your competitors actually showing up in comparison to you? So you can learn what they're doing, understand the same way you were analyzing competitors for SEO and Google ranking. You want to understand how your competitors are showing on different models. Of course, you'll set up the prompts, and it has a certain amount of prompts that you can set up, and each prompt has a question that you're asking. You're asking a question, and it will show you the visibility and the score per each one of those prompts. So you want to set up the right prompts with the right entities. You don't ask who is name of company. Ask prompts that are more what you want people to find you with. That's why I was talking about when you're doing manual audit, you want to ask a lot about your brand. In this, you want to ask the related questions, the questions that bring people to you, the comparison questions, right? To see if you get brand visibility with those things. The same way we were ranking for keyword ranking, you were putting keywords that were not your brand itself. You want to make sure that you show up in AI. So you HubSpot will actually tell you which prompts you should put. It'll give you ideas, and then you can add more prompts. There's a limit, but there's a lot that you can do with what you actually have in there. And I would recommend again use what you can, and then in the future you can add more if you need to. You can also click on each one of the prompts and go deeper and understand how you're positioning for that specific prompt over time. So it gives you an idea of each prompt and how it's growing. And then it'll tell you the citations. It'll actually show you the sources where all this influence is coming from, all this visibility is coming from. So you can understand you compare to your competitors, which sources are these coming from. Now, the cool thing about the tool is that not only allows you to rank it and understand where it's coming, but then it gives you recommendations. It's telling you, write an article about this, write a blog about this, post more about that. So it shows you the gaps to build your content strategy around this. And not only that, it allows you to put the link once let's say you wrote a new blog article about it, you can put the link and it'll track if that is creating an impact in your brand visibility. There's a couple questions. Benjamin, do you know if we go deeper, the allotted number of prompts, does it eat into your breeze credits? No, it's separate. It's You need to go buy more prompts, and it's not a lot of money anyways. But just start using it with the prompts you have. If you're like on Pro, you get 25. On Enterprise, you get like 50. Just start tracking the first ones. I know everybody's like, but I have 1,000 keywords. Yeah, but that's not that important. You want to make sure that for your main ICPs, you show up in the first questions. Start using the tool. Start seeing how you can create better brand visibility. And then as you see that this tool is helping you, you can go buy. It'll make sense to buy more, right? And that's the whole point of it. Gordon said, I am providing the names of my competitors. Actually, HubSpot will find your competitors because it can do that, but also you can add new ones. So great question. It's both. It'll say, here's your competitors. And it might be like, oh, you might be like, no, remove this one, but add these three that are not on the list, right? It'll know what your competitors are for those products and industries. And again, like I said, what's cool is you can do the changes that the recommendations gave you. You can add the URL, and then it'll track if that's changing AI brand visibility. So it gives you an idea of what you need to change and from what you change if it's actually creating an impact. Any other questions, guys? So you can see we started with run an SEO audit. That's how you start because SEO is the foundation of AEO. Then understand brand visibility manually. Go and do it yourself. The more you do that, the more you understand how AI is creating the answers. You can't do answer engine optimization without using AI all the time and testing these things all the time. So you got to go deeper into using ChatGPT and Perplexity and Claude and all the different ones that you want to test these things. Use Google to test things because it's the fastest one that's answering. It's bringing the answers to the top. It's helping us run faster loops and faster tests. And then if you don't have a paid HubSpot account, you can use the AEO grader. Start running AEO graders to understand brand visibility and entity connections and all those great things. And then if you have HubSpot, if you're using HubSpot, which I totally recommend you do, especially for AEO, set up the brand visibility tool, the HubSpot AEO tool, and it takes literally 5 minutes. And then start tracking this and understand. I literally just um, went through an exercise where I checked 3 clients. One client does amazing internal content. They capture their human, all the information from real humans doing real things. They do video, they run webinars, they do all the right things. And they also allow us to run the strategy and allow us to give them strategic advice, right? And their brand visibility was 75%. Then I checked on a client that doesn't do any of those things. They haven't embraced building content internally. They don't do a lot of video. We're helping them, trying to move them in the right direction. But they allow us to strategically do our work and our job and run content and build content as much as possible. Their visibility was 35%. Uh, I'm going to post a LinkedIn post later today. So again, the ones that are doing the human things and capturing all that data and then allowing us to run the strategy, 75%. The ones that are not doing their part human but they're actually allowing us to run 30 something percent. Now, I compare this with a client that doesn't do the things, they don't want to do the things, and they don't allow us to do the things either, right? Both negatives, and their visibility was 15%. So there's a correlation there. And again, I'm going to share the methodology that we recommend. We actually created a framework on once you've run the AEO audit, what do you do, right? And that's the human to answer framework that we put together. I built this framework to make it easier for people to actually capture the data, capture those webinars, capture the videos of real things and that will create the right signals. And then do all the things that you need to do to build brand visibility. David, you said LLM visibility question. If we match our published content to the vocabulary AI models return on broad category prompts, does that increase the chances of being surfaced with AI? Yes, and that's part of the framework that I just shared. When you create content, content needs to be structured as much as possible. Schema is very important. I shared an article on schema. Schema gives the structure of that. This is an FAQ. This is a video. This is the title. This is an organization. This is a person, the author of the blog. Like structure is very important. Second, the structure of the actual content, like you're talking about, the questions and the answers. I always say the H1 tag, the main title of the page should be the question you're answering. Not necessarily every time needs to be a question and exactly how people would answer. It's not just like SEO. It doesn't have to be exactly phonetically, exactly the same way with the same words, but it should be a question. The first paragraph, first 60 to 80 words, needs to be the answer, the full answer to that question. And then you expand, and then each H2 tag, it's a question, answer, expand. Question, answer, expand. And if you craft your content not only your website content, but your blog content specifically, and your social media content. Ask questions and answers, and you're answering real human, questions that from your ideal clients. That helps you show up with AI. Melanie said, repeat that H2 pattern, please. The title of the page, the title of the blog, let's say, needs to be the main question. The first paragraph of that blog needs to be the answer, the full answer to that question. And by the way, created something similar for the meta description. The meta description needs to be the answer to AI. AI is actually taking the meta description and using it as the answer. If you can, create the answer to AI for that main question. And then every H2, which are the subtitles on your blog, every section needs to be a question. Like, how do we do this? Why does this work this way? Are this better than that? Right? Like questions and answer, question and answer. So you do title, subtitle, H2 tag, a question, right underneath a short answer. And don't say AI answer or short question, short answer. Just put the answer. AI can grab it from there. 60 to 80 words, and then bullets and expansion and all that stuff. That structure on articles and pages, it doesn't have to be robotic, okay? The blog needs to be human. So when you're creating content with AI, go and say, can you optimize this for humans, for SEO, and for AEO? And actually tell AI to rank it. Okay, rank it. How is it doing for humans? Like flow. It has to make sense as read it. If I read it as a human all at once, does it make sense? Is there a story here that I'm telling you? Are there sentences connecting the sections and things like that? It shouldn't be a bunch of bullets. Like when you say optimize this for AI, it's like bullets, 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 bullets. That's not how people read things, right? So I don't know if that makes sense, Melanie. Angie said, is it still critical to balance writing for AI with the consumer? Google core updates have been punishing sites that are moving away from AEAT. So the whole, and I think, Emily, Angie, you're talking about writing with AI. My take on this is you should not write from AI, from AI, from AI, because the problem is that people are rewriting content that was already rewritten by AI, from another AI, right? Like that is garbage. If you create garbage from garbage, you'll have garbage and it won't be cited and it will be penalized. Actually, Search Engine Land run a whole study and we posted it on our latest article. I think it's the content engine trap. Let me share that article here in a second. And the whole article was all about how if you just say to AI, write me 100 articles about this, right? And here's the link. If you say to AI, write me 100 articles about this topic, AI will just grab the stuff, write articles that sound good, and actually Google and AI will cite it and it'll rank for a minute. But then all of a sudden it'll die because they catch up that this is just crap and regurgitation from the same thing. So definitely create content from real humans. That's why on the human to answer framework that I shared before, what we do is we run webinars, we capture sales conversations, we capture customer service tickets. A lot of information is in the CRM if you're using HubSpot to the fullest. But again, run webinars, do videos, capture video of real stuff that's happening in the real world. Humans helping humans. I'm going to keep repeating that forever. You want to win in the AI world, blah, blah, blah. Humans helping humans. If you capture humans helping humans, you will be the answer to AI. And of course, you need to do all the other things, multi-channel, put it everywhere. But you need to prove to AI that you're a human helping other humans. And that will make a huge difference. So yes, it is penalized, and EEAT is important, very important, and the trust part of EEAT is critical, and that trust is valid. Is done through validation, through doing multi-channel, Reddit, LinkedIn, this and that, videos, YouTube, in the video formatting. That's why, again, in our methodology, in our framework, the human to answer framework, we talk a lot about video, is because video is the right signal for AI and the easiest signal for AI to say, yes, this is human. Yes, this is real. This is not some other crap created, garbage created from garbage. We need to stop thinking that way. So NGA responded to that. Melanie, so H1 is the main question, followed by H2 subtitles with mini answers by topic. Yes, sub questions. Perfect. Perfect. Angie, absolutely. I was throwing it out there so that we don't want to write with the primaries. Yes, of course. Of course. So, big takeaways today. So, the brands that are going to win are the ones that, first of all, stay human and show up consistently, are clearly understood, and are repeatedly cited. AI visibility is not about rankings, it's about being referenced in answers. If you don't test how AI sees your brand, you're guessing, you're not optimizing. That's why we use all the tools we talked about today. Old, unstructured, and third party content will define you if you don't. So control the narrative as much as possible. Clarity, structure, and consistency determine whether AI uses the content or not. And new content is also, remember, um, it is rewarded because new content, old blogs are being deleted by Google. Google is unindexing old content. So make sure that republishing and things like that are part of your strategy. And use manual tests and HubSpot AEO tools to track brand visibility. So that's it, guys. 1 to 10. How did we do? Please rank us. Put it on the chat. 1 to 10. How did we do? I'm gonna share again here the next the recordings of the past sessions, the next two sessions. So you guys have 9.5. Scott, I think if someone's gonna not leave me 10 and you say 9.5, you're very close. So that's one of those people that never think that 9.567. Love it, Gordon. I love it. I love it. I love it. And again, here's our AEO guide. If you guys want to learn a lot more about this, here's our AEO audit. If you guys want us to do this for you, and I'm sharing here the links. We do an AEO audit that we can do these things for you. And I'm going to share again my links in case anybody needs to connect with me. I'm here to help. So, any questions, guys? And I'm going to unshare here so we can have a conversation. Humans helping humans. All right, guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for joining today. I'm going to stay here a couple more minutes until 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The $3,500 is a one-time audit, by the way, Peter. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Of course, we have monthly AEO programs that we can do this on an ongoing basis, but the audit is a one-time. And by the way, the link is right here in case you want to check it out. That's our SEO AEO audit. Fantastic. Learn a ton. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you guys for joining. Anybody else? Any other questions? Anybody wants to come up mute or put something on the chat? It was on the morning webinar, so that's the 9.5 funny. Thank you, Scott. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I said, everybody's giving me 10. Come on, where are all the people that give me 9? Because they never think that anything's perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Peter, for being there for us. 20 out of 10, Filipa. Good job. Good job. Thank you, guys. Again, any questions? Any questions? I'm going to stay here 5 more minutes in case anybody wants to come off mute or ask me any specific questions. I'm still here. I see a lot of humans still here. A lot of you might be robots. I see some fireflies here, but any questions, guys? If you're leaving, have a great week. Join us for the next one. Register for the next events, and connect with me if I can help in any way. All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the thumbs up. All right. All right. Thank you guys for connecting. We'll stay in touch. And if you were writing a 20-page question, you have 5 more seconds to hit enter. If not, I am going to disconnect and keep testing some AI stuff for you guys, so I can talk about it next week. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye.